Real fulfillment is less about having and more about being. Life as spiritual practice. 5 keys to smoother living and spiritual growth. Many people are familiar with the idea of non-attachment, but find it challenging to practice in daily life. In this video, I'll introduce 5 essential principles that not only guide you toward true non-attachment but also bring deeper meaning to your spiritual journey and greater harmony to your everyday life. Before diving in, let's quickly review the 5 key areas of non-attachment. 1. Non-attachment to outcome. Embrace life's natural flow by letting go of the need to control or predict every outcome. 2. Non-attachment to self-image. Release the desire for external validation, allowing you to connect more deeply with your true self. 3. Non-attachment to possessions. Lighten your spirit by loosening ties to material things, embracing simplicity and contentment. 4. Non-attachment to status. Be fully present with others, seeing beyond status or roles to recognize the value in each person. 5. Non-attachment to ideals. Embrace life as it is without rigid expectations or fixed beliefs. While these areas are simple to understand, they can be hard to apply consistently. So rather than discussing these directly, we'll explore 5 essential Taoist principles that bring these ideas to life, helping you integrate non-attachment in a meaningful, practical way. Imagine life as a spiritual journey instead of a sequence of events. Each moment offers an opportunity for growth, clarity, and connection. Through these principles, we can cultivate ease, resilience, and inner peace, transforming how we approach our relationships, aspirations, and sense of self. Rooted in timeless wisdom, these practices gently realign us with our authentic selves, enabling us to live with greater fulfillment. If this message resonates with you, please subscribe and click the bell icon for more content to support your journey toward inner peace and personal growth. Now, let's explore these keys to unlocking a life aligned with your highest self and the natural flow of the universe. 1. Non-competition. Non-competition in Taoist thought goes beyond merely avoiding conflict. It embodies a mindset that recognizes the futility of forced outcomes. The classic Taoist phrase, "Because one does not compete, no one can compete with them," reflects a wisdom that embraces harmony and flow rather than striving for dominance. This does not mean passivity or withdrawal. It means engaging fully without the weight of ego or the need for control. Imagine how much lighter our lives would feel if we weren't constantly measuring ourselves against others, endlessly comparing who is right or better. In a sense, competing is a game our egos play, driven by insecurities, desires, and the illusion of separation. When we compete, we fall into patterns of opposition, focusing more on defending our stance than on understanding others. Real wisdom, however, lies in recognizing that every person is shaped by unique experiences, perceptions, and understandings. By insisting that our viewpoint is the only correct one, we disregard the rich diversity of human thought and limit our growth. Consider it this way: true influence doesn't come from imposing our perspective on others, but from cultivating an inner strength and understanding so profound that others feel naturally inspired by it. People resonate with authenticity and inner peace more than with arguments or forced persuasion. Wisdom in non-competition teaches us that we cannot change someone's mind by force. We can only spark what is already present in their consciousness. When people change, it's often because they recognize a truth within themselves, not because they were convinced by another's words. By being accepting and respectful of others' perspectives, we create an open space for genuine connection and understanding. Moreover, non-competition transcends human relationships and points toward a fundamental truth about our interconnectedness. The boundaries we perceive between self and other are ultimately an illusion. On a spiritual level, each of us is an expression of the same universal source. To argue over differences, then, is to forget our shared essence. Instead, by recognizing that every viewpoint, every person, and every life form has a purpose, we can embrace each other with compassion. When we choose not to compete, we align ourselves with the flow of life, allowing natural harmony to emerge rather than imposing our will. In practical terms, this means letting go of rigid judgments about right and wrong, good and bad. It means cultivating a mind that is tranquil and spacious, allowing others to be who they are, and letting ourselves be who we are without incessant comparison. Non-competition is a path to peace, for when we let go of the need to win, we free ourselves from the stresses and anxieties that come with it. We begin to experience a profound calm and joy that arises from knowing that all beings, ourselves included, are deeply interconnected and ultimately one. This is the true victory, the one achieved by letting go. 2. Non-attachment to desire. Non-attachment to desire is about recognizing the slippery slope between healthy ambition and unchecked craving. Desires, much like nutritional supplements, can benefit us in moderation. However, when taken to excess, they disrupt our inner balance and can even lead to harm. For instance, many people find themselves in cycles of indulgence, be it with food, wealth, or status, only to realize the heavy toll it takes on their well-being once it's too late. Overeating, for example, may feel satisfying in the moment, but as health deteriorates, the deeper cost of unchecked desire becomes painfully clear. Desire often blurs our perception, nudging us to chase after more with the false promise of lasting happiness. Driven by an insatiable craving, we lose sight of moderation, mistaking abundance for fulfillment. Ironically, desire can make us feel perpetually lacking, propelling us into endless pursuit without true satisfaction. When we are constantly chasing more or pushing for faster, we find ourselves caught in an exhausting cycle, confusing urgency with importance and mistaking speed for progress. True contentment lies in the wisdom of balance. By slowing down, we cultivate the space to make thoughtful choices rather than acting on impulse. In the rhythm of life, fast often leads to burnout, while slow and steady brings sustainable peace and joy. There's a Taoist saying that fast is slow, and slow is fast, emphasizing that the most direct path to fulfillment often requires us to pause, breathe, and trust in the natural timing of things. Non-attachment to desire isn't about rejecting all ambition. It's about finding harmony between our goals and the present moment. When we loosen our grip on desires, we move through life with a lighter heart, allowing us to experience true contentment and balance in every step. 3. Non-clinging. Non-clinging is about freeing ourselves from the heavy chains of attachment, not by rejecting ambition but by transforming our relationship with it. Each of us already possesses everything essential within. What we often seek in the outside world is merely a reflection of what we feel is missing within. Pursuing wealth or success can offer temporary highs, yet it often leads to cycles of stress and dissatisfaction, as each goal reached only creates a new one, leaving us in a perpetual state of wanting. The deeper emptiness we feel is not for more possessions but for a sense of spiritual fulfillment. When we seek outwardly to fill this inner void, it inevitably leads to suffering, as true contentment can never be found through external means. It's like trying to quench thirst with salt water. The more we consume, the deeper our thirst becomes. By recognizing this pattern, we open ourselves to a profound shift, letting go of the need for external validation or material measures of success. When we release our grip on excessive attachments, our energy naturally rises, free from the weight of constant craving. In this higher state, we become more attuned to life's natural flow, where our desires begin to align with the opportunities around us. This alignment brings a sense of effortless fulfillment, where dreams materialize not through struggle or force but as expressions of our inner harmony. Non-clinging teaches us to pursue aspirations without being bound by them, moving through life lightly, open to all it offers, yet deeply anchored within. 4. Selflessness. Selflessness is a reflection of true wisdom. At its core, selfishness arises from a limited view of the world, where the ego believes happiness is something to be hoarded. But this way of thinking creates separation and, ultimately, loneliness, for a life focused solely on self-gain denies the richness of human connection. In the natural flow of life, everything exists within a cycle of giving and receiving. Just as rivers nourish the land and return to the sea, life's energy thrives on circulation. True fulfillment comes not from taking but from adding to the lives around us. When we give generously, we create a positive flow that returns to us in often unexpected, meaningful ways. Bringing joy to others awakens joy within ourselves, creating a feedback loop of well-being that strengthens bonds and renews the spirit. Moreover, life itself rewards selflessness. Those who give freely find that they receive in abundance, not only material wealth but inner wealth in the form of peace, joy, and deep connections. By putting others' needs alongside our own, we align with the natural laws of balance, where abundance flows not through accumulation but through contribution. The path of selflessness teaches us that by lifting others, we elevate ourselves. True prosperity lies not in possession but in participation, in finding our highest value through service. When we live with a heart attuned to the well-being of others, we create a world that reflects that care back to us, creating a life that is rich in love, gratitude, and unity. 5. Honesty with oneself. Honesty with oneself is essential for genuine growth. Many people, fearing discomfort or vulnerability, construct elaborate ways to avoid facing certain truths. This self-deception may offer temporary relief, but it ultimately keeps us disconnected from our own essence. Living authentically means having the courage to look at both our strengths and our shadows without flinching. When we avoid facing reality, we deprive ourselves of the chance to evolve, making it difficult to find true inner peace. True self-honesty requires seeing ourselves clearly, beyond the masks we present to the world and beyond the stories we tell ourselves. This clarity isn't about self-criticism. It's about cultivating a non-judgmental awareness, observing ourselves as we are without excuses or embellishments. In this practice, silence often becomes more powerful than words, allowing wisdom to rise naturally without interference. When we resist filling every gap with distraction, we make space for truth to emerge. By embracing self-honesty, we begin to see the deeper layers of our own mind and motivations. This clear self-awareness not only brings peace but also fosters self-acceptance, making us more resilient and grounded. It's through this lens of honesty that we find authentic self-love, not through flattery or illusion, but through understanding who we are and embracing all that we find. Ultimately, being honest with ourselves frees us, allowing us to live with greater harmony, clarity, and purpose. In conclusion, in embracing these 5 essential principles, non-competition, non-attachment to desire, non-clinging, selflessness, and honesty with oneself, you are not merely adopting ideals but aligning yourself with the natural flow of the Tao. When these principles become part of your being, you dissolve the unnecessary struggles and illusions that cloud life's true purpose. What remains is a path that is uniquely yours, yet harmonized with the universal rhythms of existence. Humanity has always yearned to understand the laws that govern not just the world around us, but the world within. Despite the rapid pace of technological advancement, the allure of ancient wisdom endures, reminding us of something essential we may have forgotten. Sacred texts like the Heart Sutra and Tao Te Ching still speak across centuries, calling us to remember the simplicity that underlies all complexity. They remind us that fulfillment cannot be found in accumulating more but in shedding what we don't need and living in harmony with deeper truths. In a world that often prizes achievement over peace and speed over meaning, these teachings offer a path back to wholeness. They show us that true wealth lies not in what we gain, but in what we are able to let go of. By reconnecting with these timeless principles, we begin to see that real fulfillment is less about having and more about being. Embrace this simplicity, and you'll find that life itself, in all its impermanence and wonder, becomes a boundless source of joy and serenity. In returning to the roots of our humanity, we rediscover the profound peace and purpose we have been searching for all along. Thank you for watching. If you found our content valuable, kindly subscribe, click the bell icon, and share it with your friends. If you have any questions or suggestions, leave your message below. Let the ancient wisdom infuse you with more life energy.